Good morning. How is everyone this morning? I hope all is well. So it might just be a quiet morning at the feeder. I don't know. I don't know if I want to talk about anything. How is everyone this morning? Guess we're just lurking this morning. No one wants to talk to me. Well, maybe I will talk about some things this morning. I don't know. We could talk about the truth and how people like Poopsico use the truth. So, those who follow the mystery method often treat truth not as a moral compass, but as a tool or an obstacle. Their strategies are rooted in emotional manipulation, performance, and control of perception. They tend to use truth to deflect or distort how people see something. They often treat social interactions like a game or a simulation. Truth is optional, while effectiveness is the goal. They view identity as something you can craft, invent, or create an impression. So this is how they use truth, quote unquote truth, to do this. Truth becomes truth becomes a flexible narrative used to control how others see them and not fixed in reality. If deception creates attraction, it's rationalized as justified. Truth is often replaced by strategic honesty, saying just enough to build trust while omitting and twisting key parts. Sounds very familiar, doesn't it? Sounds very, very familiar. Kind of like when he reads his court papers or other people's court papers. He does exactly that. Truth is often replaced by strategic honesty, saying just enough to build trust, but omitting and twisting key parts. They use truth to make themselves seem more well, they use truth. Now, every time I say truth, remember it's in quotes. To be more successful, worldly, and socially dominant. And they're always deflecting attention away from their own insecurities or truths about them and their intentions. So when we sit here and we call him everything that we are, he uses all of that. That's why he watches us. So he can, or maybe not me, but watches you guys, so he can know what you guys are saying and use your words exactly what you're saying against you. And make himself look better in the process of it all. So people like him often rehearse their roles, like the mysterious protester or the dominant alpha, like how he supposedly protects people. And this is something that y'all have to remember too. While they're creating this identity for themselves, they lose the real person in them, becomes irrelevant beneath all the layers of practice performance. So does Poopsicle even know himself anymore? He's been doing this shit for so long. Has he created this, well, we know he's created this world around him that he thinks is reality that isn't. Oh, look, and isn't this interesting? So, they create false truths. Like, let's say Poopsicle plants a counter protester of whatever he's protesting. Because, he's supposedly on the left, which is highly unbelievable. But he says he's on the left. So, wouldn't it be interesting if he planted one of his MAGA friends wherever he is to counter-protest him, to be able to make a scene? I think we've all seen that before. I think we've watched that. I think there was some guy, he had shaved head, tattoos, kind of looked like one of his other friends he has. I don't know where the footage is, but there is footage out there of this man. Shaved head, he's got tattoos on his arms and stuff, I think. And then there's a picture of him in a river with somebody and some kids. Those two guys really look a lot the same. Very, very similar. But that's just me. And somebody else had that thought too. It's actually their original thought. I'm just kind of repeating it. Oh, this is something else. The confident storytelling. Instant credibility. These stories are often unverifiable or entirely fake. Kind of like the two women from Louisiana that supposedly got saved out of Scientology. A completely unverifiable story or entirely fake. So these stories are designed to sound plausible and trigger attraction. So, by that story, just that story alone, the two women that were supposedly saved, well, isn't that what he's been out there saying he's gonna do, or that he has done in the past? He's broken up cults and saved kids from pedos and saved these women. It's what you want to hear, because that's what he says he's out there doing for the movement or whatever. But there's no credibility, no action, no nothing. Oh, the damn squirrel's out there again. Alright, I gotta go chase off the squirrel. I'm gonna put you guys on mute and leave you with some music. I'll be back. Feel free to go rewind and watch what I've said. I'm real cute when you speed up my voice. Good morning. If you're just joining us, if you could please hit the thumbs up, that would be super cool of you. So, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be live. There is someone that needs help outside. So, on the side of the road, they need help in front of my house. So I need to go help them get their car started. Hopefully it's just a jump that they need, and we don't have to figure anything else out. So, I might just leave the birds going for a little bit. I don't know what to do. Nobody's really in here talking to me, so... If you're just joining, if you could hit the thumbs up, that would be super cool. If you'd like me to leave this running so you can watch the birds after I chase the squirrel off, please say something. Oh, Helgier! Good morning, ma'am. How are you? This little squirrel's just staring at me. He's really making me mad. Let me go run and see if I can jump this car for them, and I'll be right back. Just give me a couple moments. Yay, all it needed was a jump. Yay! Well, thank you all for sticking around. I appreciate it. There's a lot going on, other places you could be on the internet, so I really appreciate you hanging around. Hell yeah, I don't know if you're still here, but yay, I'm glad you had a great weekend. So, well, I guess I got 20 more minutes before I hit my hour marker. So, back to what I was talking about and how con artists, people who use the mystery, emotional manipulators, use the truth for bad things. So where were we? Emotional manipulation equals simulated death. Not death, sorry, depth. Oh, good morning, Cinderella. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. So, back to emotional manipulation equals simulated depth. So, a false truth, for example, I'm being vulnerable with you. This really isn't vulnerability. It's curated designed to fast track intimacy without genuine connection. I hope that made sense. I'm really bad at reading my own notes. Like, I need to, write out complete sentences in order to read my notes properly instead of just broken up words here and there. And especially in the morning, around this time, I need way more coffee. And then, so here's another thing. Strategic honesty equals controlled narrative. I don't lie. This is an example. I don't lie. I just tell people, or I just let people think what they want to think. They omit key facts while acting sincere and creating truth-adjacent persona. I hope you all can see that in what Poopsico does. Because I do. I see it. Can anyone think of any examples of what Poopsico does? We're going to see if you guys can use your critical thinking brains this morning while I go fill up my coffee. I'll be right back. dog out there and maybe the squirrel will stay away. Because he's really starting to piss me off, that stupid little squirrel. His double talk. Yep, that's exactly it. And his pauses. He'll say something, he'll pause, he'll either look at his chat or you can tell he's thinking about the next thing to say. He'll see what the chat is. That's why he always looks at the chat to see what they're doing and how they're reacting to what he's saying. Because, in honesty, I don't think it's the chat telling him what to do. I think it's the chat reinforcing what he says. Yep, whatever is going on in chat. Yep, and if chat is reinforcing what the words coming out of his mouth are and the story that he's telling, if they're reinforcing that, you'll notice that he either digs in deeper or stays on the same track. And if they're not following along, he'll change the story. He'll throw keywords in there like, key trigger words. Pedo, grapist, that thing that he calls, I don't know if I can say that M word on YouTube or not. Well, he calls her that all the time, so I don't know why I can't say it. But I don't like calling her that because I know she's not that M word. Yep, that's exactly it, Cinderella. He mentally manipulates his chat. That's exactly what he does. I'm so glad you see this, Cinderella. Somehow we need to help other people see it. And please, any of you, feel free to share my posts or my videos about this manipulation shit. Because like I was saying, it doesn't just happen with what we're dealing with. It happens in business, in marketing, in politics, in the dating world. It happens everywhere, this emotional manipulation bullshit. And it's all because of this mystery guy and the mystery method. And it's very interesting. I'm going to do a video or a short or something about the history of where this all how this started, where it infected. It's gross. It's gross how many people use this, how many communities use this to attract people and manipulate them. And it's real easy in the activist world because we're already a bunch of emotionally charged people about what we're fighting for and what we believe in. And they tap into that. Oh, Hellgear, okay. I'll explain. No, not the N-word. You're correct. M as in Mary. No, Nobody I know would say that N-word. So let me just make that very clear. So, and I'll clear this up. You know how he always calls the she is Riddle. And the N-word is a murder. He also calls Dedant that too. But he also thinks Dedant and Riddle are the same person. But wait, it could be Doss. Who else could it be? I mean, that's what it is. He created this story around, oh, red drum. Yes, there we go. Thank you, Cinderella. That's what we'll say. Red rum. Red drum. Red rum. Red rum. So he has created this story around Riddle years ago. 2 years ago, maybe even 2.5 years ago now. It may be 3 years by fucking now. But he created this story around her. And he uses it whenever shit starts to go the opposite way in his chat. All of a sudden, here comes red rum. That's one of his trigger words for his chat. And if you watch, it happens quite frequently. I'm trying to think who else he's created this narrative around. Oh, this is another stupid one. Red eating a cat. Really? Really, you stupid poopsicle? Really, you really think Red and Ant used to get along, and then all of a sudden, this person, that's another thing everyone needs to pay attention to. These people were his friends, and if they were his friends before, why didn't he think these bad things about them before? Because they were his friends, he should have known. Had some kind of inkling that, oh, this guy eats cats. Maybe I shouldn't be friends with him. I mean, what the fuck? And then people don't even think it through. Don't even think what he's saying through. They just let their system one part of their brain react to everything he says, and they don't use the system two to actually think about, wait a minute, he was friends with her for 10 years. So he could have possibly known about. Now, I'm just assuming, and that's what everybody should do when he says shit. Start assuming, start thinking. Wait a minute, he was friends with her for 10 years, and he didn't know anything about this in those 10 years before he didn't like her anymore? And if he was okay with it then and had no problems with it then why all of a sudden is it a problem now? Huh? Maybe because she realized what you were doing? Exactly, Helgier. It's what he does. It's a cycle. Good friends gone bad. I don't understand it. I just don't. And then again, with her case, he got the paperwork. He read the paperwork. I've read the paperwork. What he reads doesn't match what the fucking paperwork says. So he leaves things out of it. And the parts that he leaves out, he puts his own trigger words in there to get his viewers all riled up. Exactly, Cinderella and Helgier. He doesn't think he's the problem. It's everybody else that's the problem, not him. I can't believe my dog isn't paying attention to the squirrel in the feeder. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to open my door and say something. Get rid of him. Be right back. He's got to stay on patrol. No squirrels allowed. I need a little sign to put on the post. No squirrels allowed. Only birds. Yep. Helgier, that's exactly what he does. He likes to get a rise out of people. And when he's getting that rise out of people, he's also giving them a false sense of security. Because he's making himself out to look like the better person, the more of a badass person. You know, the professional protester. There's another fact, Cinderella. If he watches anyone, he pulls buzzwords out of others' chats and uses that to manipulate. Fact. I mean, I hate to say this, but he's not as dumb as y'all think he is. I mean, he is. He is a fucking idiot. Don't get me wrong about that. He is an idiot, but he's not dumb. He's a smart fucking idiot. He's an infection to me too, Cinderella. I second that comment. That's a really good way to describe him. He makes his way into a movement and then he infects it with his disgusting grossness. Yep. And I really believe that, people need to start calling him, he's not dumb. He's an idiot, but he's not dumb. And he does stupid shit, but that stupid shit is to create attention to himself and make himself look like he's either rescuing somebody for the cause or protecting somebody. It's that whole alpha male shit. Yep, everything I'm describing is a menace. He's a menace to society. Alright, now let's go back to my notes here. This is something else we were just kind of talking about. Reframing a rejection equals preserving ego. Rather than accepting a rejection as a genuine, they try to spin it into validation of their power. This deflection not only hides the truth, but reinforces their belief system. So, by, hold on, I just had a thought and I lost it. His deflection not only hides the truth, but reinforces his belief. So that's, again, where the trigger words come in. Because someone goes in there, says the truth, and all of a sudden, they're a trigger word. They're a pedo. They're a red rummer. They're a grapist. They're just all these things. They become the trigger word. Anyone speaking the truth about him is the trigger word. Oh, I'm so sorry, Helgier. It is sicker than you thought. It's disgusting and it's gross and it happens everywhere. I'm so glad you're seeing it for what it is. Please help me spread this word and this message, because, again, it's not just him. And the more people that see how these tactics work, they can see how it happens in their own lives, and they'll be able to protect themselves. Cinderella, it's him talking about himself. I agree 100% with that statement. $100%. I mean, this motherfucker's been getting in trouble with the police since, hell, okay, let's put our critical thinking hats on and use system 2 in our brains. Now, if this idiot was growing, and again, please don't think I have anything wrong with people growing marijuana. I don't give a shit. But when you lie about it, and if this person, Poopsico, was growing 5 to 19 plants and had a whole operation, wouldn't you also think that this mug can't smoke all of this? So, back then, you weren't just giving shit away. You were selling this shit. You were making money off this shit. So, I think he had a whole little operation of growing and selling God's flower. Right, Cinderella? I don't care either, but be a smart criminal. And you can do it in the city, but don't grow 19 plants. I mean, all one person needs is really one plant. That's all you really need, especially if you know how to do it properly. You keep one plant and cycle and you're good. Fucking idiots. So, I don't know. If this... And then he got caught in 2000 doing the same thing. That was the first time. And then 14 years later, he gets caught with the same operation. And doesn't get in trouble for it again. And the first fine in 2000 was $100,000. That was the fine. The second time, the fine was only like $17,000. To me, I think he snitched. I'd love to figure out who he snitched on, too, back then. Very, very interesting. But I'd have to talk to some of our mutual friends. See who went away back then. Who got locked up back then? Oh, the squirrel's back. I'm sure of it too, because especially back then, people weren't even thinking about what we're thinking about now. He sure could have easily snitched on somebody. Ooh, the raven scared the squirrel. Woohoo! Go, Raven! Oh, the squirrel's coming up behind you, Raven. Get him! Here he comes, Raven. Turn around. Look, you see the squirrel's like, I don't know if I can get up there. Oh. Oh, the raven flew away. The squirrel's there now. Oh. A lot of people tried to warn people out on the West Coast about him. And, you know, it was very, very frustrating for a certain person back then when he first got out there. Because all the information was out there. All that had to happen was people go to her page and watch her stuff. All the evidence was there. But she was blocked in his chat. So I think she went to other people's chats. And I don't know, I wish people would have listened. But you can't force people to listen. Like you can't lead a horse to water and force him to drink. Oh, get him, Raven. I love this raven-squirrel battle we're having at the feeder. I think the raven was listening to me. Well, I'm just at my hour mark. And I do have some things to do today. I wish I could stay and talk with you all and help open your mind some more about this idiot. And I hope people pay attention. not trying to hurt anyone. I just want people to be aware that this manipulation is out there, and it's not just with him. It can happen in a lot of places. Helgier, thank you so much for stopping by. And Cinderella, I appreciate you both more than you know. Cinderella says, I can see the change in his and Laura's face when I'm in chat. Maybe it's been a while. They glare. Well, good. Good, let them glare too, Cinderella, and give them the middle finger while they're doing it. Because you know the truth. You know what's going on, and they don't like it. And the more people that can see this, I think the better we all will be. Helgier asked Cinderella, when did you get out? She was like, Cinderella says I was never in. Okay, good. Helgier says. I say that's fabulous for both of you. And you know what? It doesn't matter if you were in his cult. It's that you're out of his cult. And you now are seeing it for what it is. And that makes me so happy for all of you. And the more people that get out and they need somewhere to come hang out, you can come hang out here. Just, you gotta be nice. No assholes. I don't deal well with assholes. And I don't expect you guys to deal well with assholes either. I hope some more wake up too, Helgier. I really do. And I'm glad you weren't in the echo chamber. I'm glad you never got sucked that far in, Helgier. Some people get so sucked into this cycle of manipulation. It's gross. And then once they realize what happened, it's going to do a lot to them too mentally. And that's another thing. When you're deceived so deeply and it fucks with your trust, you know, you have this trust for someone that's based upon a lie that really fucks with you mentally. So we need to be kind to those that leave the cult. And realize that, you know, we may have been talking shit in the past, just like I realize a lot of you probably talked shit about me, not saying Cinderella or Helgier, but the ones that are trying to get out of the cult, you know, they were on the other side. They were on his side when we were both in Chicago. And look at all the things he did to frame a narrative around me that night. Think about that. Think about how he said I was Riddle when he's known Riddle for over a decade. And he was trying to paint a picture for all of you that I was the red rummer in his mind, to create negativity around me, to make you guys hate me. And I'm not really a bad person, am I? I just speak the truth. I tell it like it is, and some people don't like that. Oh, good morning, Beard. Sometimes the truth is hard to hear. I get that. Aw, Cinderella. She says that made me immediately like you. Aw, aren't you sweet? But I don't know. It's in my DNA that I have moral DNA that I gotta stand up for what's right and call out what's wrong. Yep, that's a fact, Cinderella. I've been saying that forever. If his ass is shaking, his lips are lying. And have you ever noticed that he... Oh, I just dropped shit. Have you ever noticed how he rocks himself? Like when he gets really excited about a story he's telling you, he starts to rock. What the fuck is wrong with that? I mean, that's like a nervous tick or something. That's, you see somebody doing that, and you really need to start thinking about how their mental health is. Yes, Helgier, and you'll notice too, the more nervous or the more lying he's telling you, the rocking gets bigger, like more noticeable. Like it starts off real little at first, and then it's like his whole back is coming off the back of the seat. You know what, Helger? I'm not quite sure about that. But I know it can mean a lot of things. I don't know exactly what it means with him, but you can look it up and figure it out yourself. Of course he's spending his money. That's probably what's making him nervous. He had all this money that was supposedly for the lawyer. But he probably spent it all, so now he's really fucking nervous. Now he's really got to rock. And also, the rocking is, I believe, also some way to make people subconsciously feel sorry for him. I think that also plays on some emotion that we subconsciously have. It's like he needs his mama to rock him to sleep or something. Alright, it's getting late. I really need to go. If you're just joining us, or if you're watching on the replay, if you could please hit the thumbs up, that would be super cool. You can also share this out so other people can hear the message and maybe start to realize some of this stuff going on in their lives. And maybe stop themselves from being emotionally manipulated. I thank you all so much for being here. Yes, exactly. That's what I was trying to think of, Cinderella. Thank you for making that comment. Rocking is also a self-soothing mechanism. Yep, that's exactly what I was trying to think of. Thank you so much for saying that. So, okay, now to my little closing comments. So, if you're having mental health issues, there is a national hotline that you can call. And in that, once you dial that national hotline, it's 988. There are numbers that you can push. Say you're a veteran and you're having issues and you need someone to talk to. Well, there's a number veterans can push that will direct them to someone that specializes in veterans, mental health, post-traumatic stress disorder, stuff of that nature. And then there's also a number for the LGBTQ community, for people that specialize in stuff that they need help with. Those numbers, when you push 988, those numbers are under attack. And we all need to be calling our representatives in the House and our senators in the Senate and tell them to leave it the fuck alone. And 988 is a lifeline to millions and millions of people. And every 22 seconds in this country, a veteran takes their life. We need to stop that. 988 helps with stopping that. So, please call. Please tell them to stop. Everyone have a beautiful day. Peace and love to all of you. Be kind. It's free. There are way too many assholes in the world. Don't be one of them. And be honest. There's too many people out there lying, and there's not enough real people finding the truth. Have a wonderful day. Bye.